Bada boom, bada bing. I am now live.
Here, I'll just let this Discord pop out.
Shout out to Misty Mountain. He sat here and subscribed to the dude. I mean, follow, not subscribe. Yes, 4 away from 100. Man, I'm excited. I'm super excited for freaking.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there you are.
Okay, yeah, we got Discord pop out
Yeah,
there. There we
good.
go.
Much better.
Also, I need to.
Why, hello there, old
Okay.
sport.
Jensei the sensei came in. That's what's up.
Jensei 95 just redeemed. Hi.
What's up, Jensei? You just knocked Tango. I got you.
Cool beans, and then shared chat. Oh, I need to go live real fast. Okay, hold up.
Yep, I gotta go live too.
Notify my followers and
Oh,
we're
that's
good.
right there. Okay.
So cool. All right, I'm inside the knock now. So got to combine the chats and then we'll be good.
Cool. There we go.
Nice.
We Gucci.
Zenef, when you're live, just let Witty know so that way she can add you in for the combined chats too. Whitmire's live, guys. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
I'm also live.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Witty, you can go ahead, add him in.
Yup.
Jensei, how does everybody sound as far as like the volume from everybody? Is anybody too loud, too soft for my end?
Didn't say he's in here. Good.
Yeah, he's in
Check.
he's in mine specifically, so I just want to make sure.
All right.
All right.
And it's trials and tribulations. Let's go, man.
Oh man.
What up, everybody?
Everyone's
Gotta figure out
here.
if I'm getting added.
I think it's
Oh,
pretty
there we
balanced.
go.
Okay, cool.
Accept.
Good. I sure am a good bean, man. I sure am. Getting my good noodle
Oh
started
wait,
today.
hold up. This is what I need to do. My dude,
What happened?
I did a funky one. Hold on. I sent knock instead of invite. Let me see. I
Oh
was like,
shoot.
wait. Hold on, let me do this real quick.
Do you think? Do you think?
Yeah.
Streamer. Here we go. Admin chat, and the questions are.
Oh, you
right
know
here.
what?
Cool. Perfect.
We just go to my thing here. That way we got everyone's audio going. Okay.
Perfect.
Standing.
Awesome.
Right, that's done. And let me go ahead and do this because I don't need to see all that. So I can still
Hey,
see.
what's up, Alex?
Okay, I sent you the invite, Zenef.
Okay, let's see if it pops up.
We are making good time, man. 5 minutes till.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, is my voice good? Am I too loud, too soft for anybody? Does anybody need to lower or raise me?
I think you sound great on my end.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Go ahead and just.
Oh, Alex, we're all like streaming together, so this is not just my stream.
Yeah, man, it's the Comatose podcast, buddy.
We're doing a podcast. Yeah, that's what's going on.
We're all in this
I'm just waiting for
together.
our streams to combine, or our chats to combine.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
happen in
all.
like 2 seconds.
That's
By all
yeah.
your chats combined. have to-
Did I get the invitation yet? What do you-
Yes, it says it's pending.
Pending. Let me look.
I can resend it though.
Oh, I'm gonna click to accept.
There
and
we
I think we're
go.
good.
Now
Yep,
he's in.
there we go.
All right. All right, so everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and start my little
We got
intro
Zenef.
off. Yes, sir. All right. Hello. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon to everybody
Hey.
where you're at in the world. Welcome once again to episode 4 of the Comatose podcast. It is I, you already know, the guy, Mr. Malik, Lone Stone Malik, the realest man breathing, the Lone Stone Playboy, the champion's chariot, and the master of the mind. And with me, I have amazing people here today, one of which who needs to come in real soon, but when he pops in, he'll pop in. Until then, we're gonna keep it going. we have WittyWaifu, the wittiest of all waifus. We have my dude, Mr. Zenef. And we have my IRL friend, good friend, love him to death, Mr. Jorge Vasquez with us here on the podcast.
Dope, dude! I'm so excited. Finally, podcast time. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He has his mic muted, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So, how this is gonna work? Because we just did a little tweaking with the Discord podcast. Is she muted? On
No,
her
I'm
end?
good now.
Oh, I was about to say. But yeah, how we're gonna do it is we have two specific questions for both Zenef and Jorge. Jorge's gonna go first as far as his questions that we're gonna ask him, so he can have a chance to speak and introduce some stuff. And then we're gonna do the same with Zenef. We have two specific questions for him, and then we're gonna get into the more generic questions. So we're gonna go ahead. Just for now, I'm just gonna take Zenef off so that way Jorge can just speak and do his thing. And then once it's Zenef's turn, we'll take Jorge down and have Zenef up. So we'll go ahead and do that for you real quick. Give me 1 second.
Perfect. I know we're
Sounds good.
troubleshooting a new thing right now, so bear with us on this. It seems to work fairly easy, like way easier than the other thing we were doing. So I'm excited.
Cool. So, as I said before, this is my good IRL friend, Mr. Jorge Vasquez. I've known him for, what, 3 years now, bro?
Yeah, about 2.5.
2.5, damn near 3 years now. We went to the same school together, Full Sail University. We've just been tight ever since, bro. Really forward-thinking, successful life coach. Just strong-willed man. I'm always going to respect him for his drive, his hustle, and his brotherhood, man. He really has been a good brother to me in my great times and my dark times. So always gonna love you to death and respect you for that, man. So before we get into the questions, we just want you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who you are, what you stand for.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Jorge Vasquez. I've been a coach in one way, shape, or form for over 24 years. Certified nutritionist, mindset coach, personal development coach. I'm an online course creator, a published author, a public speaker, and of course, the main job as a life coach. I'm currently in the process of developing a mobile app called the King's Compass, designed specifically for men, because it's easy to find help and assistance apparently for women, but when it came to me personally looking up apps specifically for men and helping men with their journey, their process, things like that, it was very, very hard to find. So I took it upon myself to fix that, hence the app. And I am proud to announce that the app will be launching before the end of the year. So there will be Christmas specials for that.
That's awesome, dude.
So it's
Oh
gonna
my
be
gosh,
it's an amazing, it's been an uphill battle. The original launch date for it was May 4th. We'll get into it a little bit later. Let me not mix the topic. The intro of myself. I am 40 years old. I have a son, one child. He's 16 years old. He's my pride and joy. Doing good things. He's an AB honor roll student in school. He was in the wrestling team at ROTC, and now he's getting ready to go into basketball as far as his sport of choice. And that's about it for now. I travel for work as well, so depending on the requirement for the speaking engagement, how many days, how many hours, things like that, is how long I'm in whichever location. So good stuff.
Love to freaking hear it, man. Love to hear it. So we're gonna go ahead and just dive right into the questions, man. So first question is, what does taking care of your mind, body, and spirit mean to you as a life coach?
So that's very, it's I don't know, it means kind of, aside from my son and God, it means the world to me, because mind, body, and spirit are the three pillars that make up any person, right?
Mm.
You got to work on your mindset, you work on your levels of resiliency, and of course these three things, they overlap like a Venn diagram, right? There are certain things that fall into multiple different categories, but the three main pillars of every person is your mind, your body, and your spirit. So the more you work on all those three areas, individually and jointly, the better you're going to be, the more resilient you're going to be, the stronger, the wiser, the more intelligent, the more resourceful, and the more, because speaking on its surface level, right, and I can dive into it later if there's another question about a little more depth of these things, these three pillars, but if you're not working on yourself in these three areas, eventually your tripod of life is going to crumble. I'll give examples of it later if you like, but it's pivotal.
Definitely, man. I love to hear it, man. Yeah. And before we get to the next topic, just one of the main things is that, like, I really have been, like, he can say it for himself, but I will just say it anyways, that I really do support all my homies in their endeavors. One specific endeavor he did is he did an event where he was promoting the app for its previous date of launch back in the spring of, I think it was this year, or was it last year?
May 4th.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
supposed to be May 4th be with you. I was using that as my
Definitely, man. And I was there, like, he called on me to help him out with it because the team that he had, they was not doing what they needed to do, and I was like, man, this is your business, man. You've been talking about this the whole time, so of course I'm gonna help you, man. You called me to come help you. So I really have been seeing how it grows and see now that's finally getting to fruition, man. Like, I'm so excited for him because I love seeing my homies win. Like, I've never been the type of person to be jealous of anybody, so the fact that I actually have good homies that's doing things like fighting for their dreams and it's becoming a true thing is beautiful to see. And of course, man. So we're going to go ahead and go to your second question. So, personal development, what does it look like for you and your clients?
For me, personal development is a continuous, constant thing. I'm always working on myself. Being a disabled veteran, it's harder for me to do some of the same physical activities that I used to do. So I have to do modified workouts and modified exercises so that I can just maintain what I have, let alone increase, right, or get back to where I was. I'm not overweight by any means, as far as I don't look fat or anything like that, but I'm not at my ideal weight, that weight that I'm used to, which was when I was an active duty Marine. I was used to being 185 pounds, maybe 10% body fat at the most, just killing it. So I got a little ways to go, but with the right therapies, because of my injuries, I'm able to continue. I was 278 pounds. I'm now 220 or 225. I fluctuate those little 5 pounds, but I've come a long way. I'm able to do a lot. I retired my service dog because I used to have some very severe muscle spasms, things like that. So if I didn't work on myself, I would not be where I am right now. I would definitely wouldn't be able to do a lot of things that I can do right now. I can go and play basketball or pickleball with my son and not be dead at the end of it after 2 hours of PT. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to work on myself to this extent. I'm consistently and constantly reading personal development books, self-improvement books, or finding different ways that I can improve how I do my job, right, or my calling. Because for the longest of times, I didn't know exactly what my calling was, right? I didn't know how I can make my mark on this world, how I can make this world a better place. So I started praying and meditating on what I can or can't do, and I received the revelation of this, and I found out that I never tried to monetize the coaching that I've done for decades until I had this revelation. And that's when the practice got created in 2021. Fall of 2021, the practice got created, and I've been working on everything ever since. But it's very important to make sure that you have, I call it balance, but that doesn't mean that all these three areas, mind, body, and spirit, are on the same level. Some people have a better physical or better physique, right? And they're more on it with their fitness and nutrition. But when it comes to their spiritual growth, and I'll explain how I divide it, they're lacking a little bit in those areas. Their relationships aren't really good. They don't have connections with a higher power or something bigger than themselves. And they don't take care of themselves as an individual, no personal care, right? Personal care looks different for every one of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas on the other hand, someone like myself, I've been working on my spiritual growth and my mental growth a little bit more than my physical, because there was a time where I was in a very dark place, and I actually am diagnosed general anxiety, general depression, PTSD, insomnia, and apnea. So sometimes things get difficult for me, or they used to, and I've learned how to navigate around my temporary limitations, because I don't believe that it's non-human.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned how to navigate through all these things. Now I started working, not that I wasn't working on my physical fitness and my nutrition, but I've always been on top of my nutrition and working at physical fitness, but now I'm at an area where two of the pillars are really strong, and the other one, I noticed some lack. I noticed some lacking in it. So I started putting more attention towards my fitness. Thanksgiving put a little monkey wrench in it, you know, all the good for everybody. But I still stayed physically active. I didn't, gain an exorbitant amount of weight or anything like that. So I was still on top of it as much as I could. But I'm putting more emphasis on it now than the other two pillars, because those two are doing really well. So you got to navigate and audit your life and where you are on a regular basis. If you don't check in on yourself, your mental health, you don't check in on your emotional health, you don't check in on relationships, you don't check in all these things, then you're going to start seeing things change and not in the direction that you want.
Right.
So if you don't monitor, if you don't audit yourself, then you lose control of those things that are the only things that are in your control, which is yourself. If you're not feeding yourself information that you choose, the world is feeding you information that they choose.
Right.
So I'm going to repeat that one more time, because it's very important. If you're not feeding yourself the information that you choose to learn, then the world is going to be feeding you information that they want you to hear. Yep. And it's more often than not what you need in your life, not what's going to make you a better person, a better man.
Exactly.
Yep. It's things that makes it easy for you to, it's easy to manipulate someone who doesn't stand for anything, essentially.
Yeah.
Correct. Or believes everything they hear without doing their own research.
Yep. They just want, and that's what society does, is they teach a lot of people to just conform. And it doesn't matter if you're okay with the level of conformity, it just matters if you actually conform or not.
It's that blind following.
Yep. And
blind following.
I think I attribute it to us having that type of mindset of being an entrepreneur. It forces you to really think about the world in a different aspect versus what we've been taught, because you're solving problems and you're creating, which requires you to think. So I think it's a beautiful thing what you said.
Thank you. And it really is true, because in high school or pre-college or even college, they're training you to do a job to fit into society the way society has it set up, which is employer-employee, unless you find a way to dabble into the other quadrants, right? As a employer, right? You're a business owner or an investor. But if you were never taught those things or pushed towards those things, or told that it's better to take a calculated risk than to not risk anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
So risk is a good thing so long as it's calculated. If you stay getting ready, right? Analysis paralysis. If you stay just gathering information, then you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to move. You're just going to stay, I need more information to make sure that this thing doesn't happen, quote unquote. But you don't know if it even is going to happen. You're just assuming that it.
Yep.
In the military, we have, and my dad's been saying it since I was little, perfect planning prevents piss poor performance. So if you plan for as many variables that you know of, that's great, but there are variables that you don't know of. You can only plan 90%. The other 10% are variables you have no idea about, or no control, or no actionable plan to prevent.
Absolutely,
So
man.
don't be scared to take the leap. Don't be scared to move forward. Don't think that you need 5 years, 10 years of information on one topic that you've been mulling over, one idea that you've been thinking about forever and ever, but you haven't taken actionable steps on it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Take action.
Yeah, it's the putting action and not just speaking it into
Correct.
existence that I think a lot of people struggle with. Is I can say this thing out loud a million times, but until you actually do something about it, you can't just speak it into existence and then sit back and expect it to work out.
Exactly. Manifesting only actually takes form when you take action.
Yes, exactly.
Here we go.
So we talk about that in the Bible as well. God is there to help you. He's not going to do it for you, but he's going to guide you along the process. You got to take the steps, and he'll take the steps with you. He knows the path that you're going on before you even go on it. But if you don't take the steps, you're never going to find out.
Exactly, man. Exactly. It's beautiful right there. What's up?
Royal kind of has a question real fast for you. Just kind of going along the lines of that is how do you get the younger generation to commit and take that leap? So how do you push those people?
Lead by example.
Okay.
That's the best way to do it, because you can't force anybody to do anything. You can mentor, you can explain. Like with my son, I give him information. I ask him a lot of questions to get his mind going, to start thinking outside the box. I've been doing that since he was little. So now he thinks more entrepreneurially as a 16-year-old. So a lot of the things that 16-year-olds are doing and messing up, he calls me and he's like, Dad, I don't know how they could think to do something so silly. He doesn't use those words. We're working on his language a little bit, but but you know what I'm saying. He's like, I can't believe that they didn't have the common sense to not do this. And I was like, Max, you have to understand that common sense is not a common thing. Many people have intelligence but don't have the wisdom to apply the intelligence correctly. So it's very important to have those communications and inform the youth that are coming up, the next generation, but you can't push them to do anything. They have to want to do it on their own. So in order for them to have the epiphany, the idea to do something, they need to see it in action in front of them.
Right.
So my son has seen me work 2 jobs and a business at the same time. My son has seen me grow my business to the point where I can start firing my boss one at a time until the business is running on its own. And he's seen when life happens and I lose the business and I have to start that process all over again. Get another job, then get a second job, then build the business, then fire one boss, then the next boss. And that was my life since I was 17 years old. Because I've always been entrepreneurial. I've always been thinking outside the box. I want to be able to provide more for my son and future generations. And I want to break the generational curses that have been on my family for eons.
Amen. Amen.
So, and part of that is the mindset, the emotional stamina, the grit, the resilience. And that only happens by pushing the envelope. The only way you grow resilience is by going outside of the comfort zone often and navigating through the things that life does for you. Because life doesn't do things to you, it does things for you. Either you learn from a situation, you grow from a situation, or you enjoy a situation.
Hey man, you said a mouthful. MTG, I know MTG was here. Jorge is my IRL friend. I've known him for 2.5 years. So I invited him to come on the podcast, so that's why he's here. Jorge, thank you so much. We're gonna switch out you and put Zenef back in so that way he can get his 2 questions in, and then as soon as we're done with his 2 questions, we're gonna go into our main topics with everybody there. All right.
Heck
Absolutely.
yes.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, let me go ahead and do that. Go to audience. Oh, first stream's here. That's what's up. Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't even realize. Free
I
stream
know
will
he
get
probably
you.
just been sitting in
Free will get you in soon, bro. My bad, bro. We were so in the conversation, didn't even know, bro. But Zenef, whenever you have a chance, I invited you to speak. So whenever you can click in, just come on in so we can answer the questions. Hell yeah, appreciate the follow, man.
14,
Oh, I had to
welcome
get back
aboard
into the
chariot.
Discord.
Yeah, no, cause yeah, we're just trying to make it to where we get everybody's individual questions in. There's no stumbling over anybody. But yeah. So everybody knows about Zenef. So Mr. Z Fighter, we're gonna go ahead and ask you your questions. First question is, and
good.
this is one thing that ties into what he said about people, you know, even though you have limitations or anything, not that I see this as a limitation, but there's a lot of people who are neurodivergent, and I feel like it's very important for people to know. So first question is, what does it mean to have ADHD diagnosis as an adult?
What does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when I got diagnosed with ADHD this year, so yeah, that's how recent this diagnosis is. I had always suspected, but it's crazy just how recent this thing is. I thought it was going to bring me relief. Like, oh yeah, I know what's going on with me now. Everything's going to make sense and fall into place. When I got the diagnosis and I was like hearing it from the psychologist telling me what it all meant, it hit me like a ton of bricks of like these feelings of regret, of shame, of this is like my initial reactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cried like a freaking baby. But now it means that going forward, like you can be an advocate for those who don't feel like they can talk up, because I have felt that way, so I know what that feeling is like, knowing that there's something going on, I can't quite put my finger on it, and there's going to be forces out there that are going to keep you from wanting to get that mental health help that you actually need. And that is so wrong. That is the world we live in, and yet it's true.
Yeah.
There's whether it's work, friends, family, they're going to pressure you to think that you don't actually have a problem, or the problem is you. I mean, really, yeah, the problem is me, right? Like but I'm having to learn the coping skills myself. I don't know what's actually wrong with me, so I don't have that roadmap to actually get the correct coping skills right off the bat. Because when you're ADHD, there's coping stuff, there's medication, there are skills that you must know and understand within yourself and see within yourself to know what's going on. Like when you're interrupting someone, when they're in the middle of talking, right? Because you just have this impulse to just blurt out what you mean or what you have to say, because you feel like that moment will never come around again. It's about learning that restraint. It's about getting those executive functions in order. And then I would say it's almost harder as an adult, because you haven't spent your childhood or your early adulthood really grasping what's going on. And for those who are successful in their adulthoods and get that late diagnosis, hats off to you, because you're working twice as hard as anyone else who might seem to have it easier. It's not that they have it easier, it's that they have the executive functions that they need, because they do not have ADHD. They might have other stuff going on with them, don't get me wrong. But ADHD specifically affects your ability to make decisions. I heard Coach Jorge mention analysis paralysis. Mm-hmm. That is all too real with people with ADHD. And I feel it all the time. Medication, I'm getting that now. I'm on Adderall. It almost feels like the analysis paralysis is a little bit alleviated with it. It doesn't go away. None of this goes away with medication. It's not a cure-all, but it does help. It helps mitigate some of this stuff that could be affecting you. So those are some of the things that I got to say on ADHD as an adult. And I got to hand it to my lovely wife, Mego. She is very good at making spaces for neurodivergent folks. She herself has ADHD as well. And I just want to put that out there that if there's any community that's going to understand you and what you're going through, if you have ADHD, it's going to be, oh yeah, shout out to Spicy Mego in the chat there.
Bad gal.
Hell yeah.
Bad gal Mego, come on now.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to belabor the point too much, but that's kind of what I have to say on that. Mego, more like Megoat. Love it, Trial.
Let's go, man.
That's
I
so
love
great.
it. I love it, man. And that's why I said I love, because like, you know, in a world where people are trying to figure out this one beautiful thing called our mind and not having an operating manual, it can be very you know, disheartening when you have something that you're trying to understand, which is like a neurodivergence. And there's, you know, luckily we're in a space and time where there's a lot of research and a lot of things and a lot of people who have the examples to where you can actually understand what's going on with your brain. But really having that community and people who can relate to you helps out a lot more with folks who may feel insecure, or folks who may not feel like they belong somewhere because they realize that they're different in some way or fashion, but they can't put their finger on it, and everybody else knows, but they don't even want to try to understand. So that's why I love the space that Witty has, because it's not that, and I hate using the term weirdos, but it's literally just a group of people who are different from all walks of life there, and we're all just being our eccentric selves while having a good time with one another. And I love that about the community that Witty has, you know, transpired. And I've always been a person where, like, I don't care if you're freaking unicorn or flying spaghetti monster. If you cool to me, I'm cool to you. I've always been that person. So the fact that there's more communities like that really just makes me just like, because I want to understand like how you think and like how you view the world and all these things. I've always been a curious person like that, so I'm always going to ask questions for people who are in situations where they have neurodivergence, like ADHD or whatever it is, or any type of anything, because I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I think you just see the world in a different way than quote unquote normal people may see it, you know?
No, exactly. And that's what I always hope to kind of curate with my space is everybody just be unapologetically yourself. Like, I was the fucking weirdo in school, and I will always, now I'm the weirdo as an adult, and I embrace the shit out of it. And I hope to have opened up a space where you can just kind of, for lack of a better term, let your freak flag fly. Like, just be yourself. Don't try to hide. Don't try to mask. I know masking is such a huge thing in the neurodivergent community, and I want people to be able to remove that mask and just live life, because that is so exhausting to constantly have that this is who I need to be this proper human in this situation or this scenario. And no. Sometimes it's just best to just kind of be yourself.
X, man. I came up with my new term where it's like I say to people, show me the side of you that the world shamed you into hiding. I want to see that side, because that's really who you are on the inside. That's what you want to be, but the world taught you to feel ashamed of that. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. That's who you are on the inside, and that's who you really want to be. You should embrace that side of you.
Nightmare, thank you so much for that. Everyone in this community has helped me deal with differences and demons to the point I finally feel whole again. That is so beautiful to hear, Nightmare.
That's what it's all about.
I absolutely love that.
That's
yes.
so good.
That's
I
what
love
it's
that.
all about. That's literally what my whole goal was when it came on being honest on the internet. I wanted to show people that no matter who you are and no matter what you decide to do, as long as you're yourself, man, there's gonna be people that's gonna respect you and love you for who you are. That's all I really want. I just wanted people to be themselves around me. I don't want you to be anything but yourself, and I want you to be comfortable being yourself. Because like I said, any type of weirdo, cornball, geek, goofy, any type of name that you could think of with somebody who isn't the traditional way that somebody's supposed to act, I have been a victim of that and been the direct blunt of that. I've been the butt of jokes. So I understand folks when they say they may not feel comfortable being. Oh God, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. What?
He's stuck in the game.
Yeah, I got out. But yeah, I understand how it feels to be that person where it's like you've always been the odd man out, and it's like, you know, you can't really find your tribe. But it's not even about finding your tribe, it's about being who you are, and then along the way you'll just find, kind of like what Luffy did in One Piece. He just found people that was just as crazy as he was, but they all just connect in different ways, and he loves them all in different ways.
One Piece referenced.
Yes, sir. Every time. I'm so close to finishing. So close. I'm so close,
Oh
man.
my God,
I
yes.
understand,
Oh, I'm
man.
so excited. I don't think you understand how excited I am for you to be done, and then just tell me everything about it so I can vicariously live through
what?
you.
You can't tell her anything about it.
Oh my God.
She doesn't want to
gotta
watch
experience
it.
it.
I've been trying to get her, bro. I've been trying so hard to just
Man, her and everyone else, like, oh, it's 1,000 episodes. It's not about
Feed it into me.
and then
It's
like
that executive function, man.
and then bro, we got a whole one-pace editor, the dude who literally makes the edits so that way you can watch it in a faster time that I've been watching, and he's been with us, and you still don't want to watch it. What is wrong with you, man?
You gotta commit her to
that's
watching
that,
at
that's
least
that
up to
defiant
our
in
long
me
part.
going, I'm not gonna do it because somebody's telling me to do it.
Yeah, that part too. That's the main part too. But to get back on track,
Yes.
the second question for
Back on
Zenef I
track.
have is genuine blind playthroughs as a way to vicariously relive nostalgia for gamers. What does that mean for you?
Yeah, no. I came upon blind playthroughs a
Hey,
few
yo.
years back. They're
Did he
as a way to like relive like these gaming moments that
accidentally mute him? No.
you had when you first played these games
Oh.
that you can never get again. You can never get it again. You can't erase your mind of like whatever you played. And that's kind of a shame, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're always looking for the next game that kind of does that, but it just doesn't hit right the way that, let's say, like Mario 64 did or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you go back and you watch someone play that for the first time with no help or hints or anything, and you see their struggles the same way that you felt the struggles. And it's like a nostalgia kick. It's like it's a dopamine hit. And y'all with ADHD, you know about those dopamine hits, let me tell you. And so that is something that I kind of wanted to bring too. And I can't go and do blind playthroughs of the games that I love, but I can do blind playthroughs of the games that others love. And which means that you got to be very selective about the games you play if you're doing a blind playthrough of it. But it also means that you're going to have people who will watch that and thank you for what you're doing. And you're going to have people pissed off too. It's like, why can't you just figure out that one thing? Didn't you know it's right there? And that's awesome too. I love it. It is so cool to see them get so pissed. And they're like trying to spoil it for you. You're just like, hey man, no backseating. Oh yeah, sorry. But yeah, man, how can you not see it? It's like blind playthrough, man. That's the fun of it.
It's that dark empath. It's like, yeah, you know, but you can't say a goddamn thing. You gonna sit there and be mad. They'll go past that door 17 times, and then it's gonna be like that 18th time they finally got it, and then you're gonna be like, oh my god, finally.
And so that's my shameless plug for my YouTube channel, because that's what's mainly about is blind playthroughs right now.
Hell yeah, y'all follow Zenef, man. Tag yourself, man. Put your stuff in the chat so everybody can see that, man.
Yes.
But
Please.
awesome. We got everybody
Yeah,
in,
I
so
can do
now
that.
yeah, you're good. We're gonna put everybody back in
There
now,
we
so
go.
that way everybody can have their chance to speak for our main topics. With Miss Whitmire, you are my co-host. I will let you ask three of the next questions, because you know we got it. I know Try wants to hear your lovely voice specifically.
Oh my.
So we're gonna go ahead and let you talk and ask these questions to all these wonderful gentlemen here. Go ahead.
Yes,
What about Free Stream?
sir.
Is he in there?
Yeah, he's in now.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, I see him.
What's up,
I
Free
see.
Stream?
We got free stream.
What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. My son, I was setting my son up for Ocarina of Time, and he's like, "How do I do this?" I'm like, "Buddy, you get to live like I did. Good luck."
There it
Figure
is.
it out.
Figure it
The
out.
blind playthrough.
Dad
He's
edition.
poor kid.
Just set him free and said, "Have fun. Just cry just a
Sorry.
little bit."
I just had to give my excuse of why I was a little late. So my God.
No, that's beautiful. It's totally valid excuse, honestly.
Being a dad is the ultimate excuse. I don't care what anybody says. Being a parent. Yep, my kids have to take care of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got our
Great.
first question. We have this one's one of my favorite, and I'm excited about this.
Let's
Is
go.
people relearning you as an adult versus how they saw you as a child?
Me first, please. Oh my God, me
Ooh.
first.
Yes,
Oh my
go
God.
for it.
Oh my
man.
God. Oh man. Listen.
I'll go last.
You'll go last.
Listen. As someone who grew up as like one of the youngest people in my family growing up, you know what I'm saying? You used to being like the little boy or the littlest person that gets the least amount of respect in the family, because everybody's used to treating you a certain way, man. And then as an adult, like you could be like, I'm damn near about to be 30 soon, and the way people was treating me beforehand, I was like, bro, I am not that little boy no more. And it's like, you don't want to sit here and disrespect folks, but at the same time, it's like, you know, that's one of the things elders feel like they can just disrespect you any way they can because they're older, and if you say anything back, it's disrespect. And I'm more on the time frame where it's like, if you respect me, I respect you type of thing. So I really attribute it to you. Boundaries are very important, especially for people that you care about, family members, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anybody that's close to you. They need boundaries more than strangers do. And then you need to voice that, even if people may be against it, because again, when you were younger, they're used to treating you a certain way, but once you become an adult, you realize you don't like a certain type of treatment. So you really have to let people relearn who you are as an adult in that way, because it's boundaries, man. If you don't state your boundaries, and bullies don't stop at school and any of that. There could be bullies in your family, bullies, anything. If you don't state your boundaries and let people know, hey, that's not who I was 5, 10, 15 years ago. This is who I am now. And they understand that and respect that, you're gonna always go through the same thing that you went through when you were younger. That's my main thing. That it's listen, that it brought back so many memories when you asked that question, bro.
Yes.
So many memories.
God, dude.
I feel that so much, man.
Yeah, so that's my piece on it. Whoever wants to go next.
I'll go ahead and go. So, basically, like, okay, so relearning as a child. So I will go back to the whole weirdo thing. I have always been just the weird kid,
All right, let me lay down.
and I am still the weirdo adult. But it's the idea of people that, like you said, the respect thing, of a lot of people kind of take you, kind of chalk you up as the immature adult, I guess is what it is, because of how, I mean, I still have like this childlike wonder to me. I don't act like the typical, I guess, like 31-year-old. So a lot of the times people like who have known me like growing up and stuff, it's still like they keep me under this like childish mindset, which, I mean, I'm all for having the childlike wonder. I'm not saying get rid of that or remove that, but gaining that respect of, and like you said, the boundaries of it. Like, okay, yes, as a child you might have been able to say these certain things to me. You might have been able to have come across with the snarky attitude of like, oh, you're just, you're just quirky, you're just this and that, and just kind of realizing what you say to children honestly affects them as an adult. A lot of it sticks, and I think that's what is kind of hard to figure out or kind of navigate with people that have known you for, a lengthy amount of time. Is, yes, you could have said this to me, 10, 15 years ago, and I would have been like, oh, that's so funny, like, thank you for that. But as an adult, I'm gonna take offense to it, and I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. And I think a lot of people are not, I guess, comfortable with being called out on their bullshit. And so being able to set that boundary of, yes, you could have, made fun of me as a child and I might have sucked it up, but as an adult I've now set this boundary with myself that I'm no longer going to put up with you coming at me with these little bitty comments, hints of just the attitude. I want you to respect me as an adult and think of me as an adult and not just think of me as that little weirdo kid that you were able to pick on.
Mm-hmm. Put your foot down, man.
Exactly, setting boundaries, and that's been a huge thing I've been working on, because I used to be one of those people that would just like, I, whatever you say goes. Like, you tell me to do something, I'll go do it. You tell me that you feel this certain way about me, okay, cool. Like, that's just, I'm gonna internalize it. That's the way that it is. That's how I'm gonna feel for the rest of my life. Nothing's gonna change. And now I'm starting to understand boundaries a little bit better. Of like, okay, I don't like the way that you just said that, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I'm going to tell you that I don't enjoy that. That's not something that I like. And I was so submissive. So now I'm kind of working on the more dominant side of myself, which has been a little weird to navigate, I will say. It's kind of, it's never been my jam. So figuring out the difference between, I guess, being dominant and being a dick is kind of where I'm at. Like, where is the line?
Man, I wish we could live in a world where
But-
everybody just, respects one another. But, it's going to be people that's going to try their arm. So you got to let them know you ain't nothing to play with. My bad for interrupting. You can go ahead.
Yes. No, you're good. That's pretty much what it is. It's just kind of relearning the not so submissive side of myself is what it is.
Question for you. What do you mean by submissive? You mean servitude type deal?
Not necessarily servitude. I don't know. I'll kind of explain it. So, like, when people would either make like a snarky comment or something to me, say, I would just laugh it off. I wouldn't necessarily address it. When people would tell me that this is what I'm going to do right here, right now, I would say, how high? What do I need to do? Let me do everything for you. And now I'm kind of realizing that mentally, for my mental health, that's not always the healthiest thing to do. I used to take on, 10, 15 different things because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but said people needed help, so I was willing to do it. Now I'm learning, okay, I need to take care of my mental more than I need to be the people pleaser. That's what it is.
Okay,
Being
so
walking a front door mat.
Woman.
Yeah. Wait, say that again?
Being a
yes
mat.
or yes man.
Yes, being
Floor
a yes man. Yeah, floor mat, being the yes man. I'm working on that, because that used to be just, I was really bad about that. That was a huge thing of being just kind of super, just submissive towards everything. Like, let me help you, let me do, what can I do, everything for you. And now it's like, okay, I may not be able to take on this project right now. I'm willing to help and I care, but I'm not willing to give 150% like I used to be able to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there's relationship speaking, you should only submit to your other half, and they should also submit to you. Men submit to women differently than women submit to men. Not trying to go biblically here or anything like that.
Preach, brother.
Just saying that the submission is not servitude. A lot of people mix that up. So the yes man or yes woman syndrome, or if you want to say, because I used to be, yeah, but I'll do it, no problem. I had the same issue, trying to help as many people as possible, no matter what, even at my own detriment. So I had to learn that as well. So not everybody deserves your energy, your effort, your attention, and your care, especially if they don't give it to you in return. So it's just navigating like you're saying, the new boundaries that you've put up, and
Yes.
sticking to those things, because you shouldn't be like a servitude type deal, or yeah, I'll do that for you, or yeah, whatever. And then, like you said, the sly comments and stuff like that, that is being too passive. Those are things like, same thing with me. I was the youngest of three. I was picked on a lot. People would say sly comments, and I would just, yeah, whatever, that's whatever you want. And then as I grew up, I started overcorrecting, right? In the beginning, I was, whatever you said. They used to call me Rat-a-tat and Dumbo because I have big ears and teeth growing up. It wasn't proportionate, so they made fun of me like that, and I just laughed it off. In elementary school until about the 5th grade, when the bully tried to pick on me, and I had to knock his teeth in. And then realizing that I had the strength to do that to someone 3 times my size, I started overcorrecting. Anybody that said anything cross to me, I just punch them in the face. And I got into a lot of trouble for that as well. And that was in high school. I got into like 26 fights in the first half of the year. And it was just, it was a big issue, overcorrecting that way. Being from the yes man and just letting things just roll off my back without saying anything, without voicing my boundaries, without correcting somebody, to completely going 0 to 60.
And I like how you said voicing your boundaries. That's another thing, is I'm very bad about, I guess, also letting others know, because you can always have boundaries set with yourself, but unless you're actually letting people know your boundaries, some
Correct.
people may not. They may not have like the negative intentions that some others may have, so it might be a little bit harder to for them to understand that, oh, that was a boundary. That, like, you do have to let people know boundaries. You can't just assume that everybody has the same mindset, same mind frame, is in your brain thinking the same thing that you're thinking at all times. Like, that's not logical. So letting people know that this is a boundary, I'm willing to stay and stand on top of this boundary, please respect it, kind of thing, and not just assuming that everybody has the same boundaries.
Love it, man. Love it, love it. Zenef, did you have anything?
I'll tell you, like, I'm also a military man myself, just like Jorge. Being a yes man is like kind of pounded into you.
Mm-hmm.
So learning to say no, I mean, you even got to learn how to say that in the military, else you're going to burn out. With
Yep.
anything, you'll burn out. So yeah, for you guys listening, learn that skill early on before it burns you out. Because if you say yes to too many things, you're going to find your plate is going to spill. Your shelf is going to break. Whatever metaphor you want to apply to that. I don't have much to say about that. Like that, I agree with all the rest of the stuff you guys are talking about, because I know the question was like about childhood versus adult, like how do they see you? Right, like Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was the original.
The original question, right?
Versus an adult and how to navigate that, right? That was the original.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or I have just a statement or a comment. And if anybody wants me to go deeper in it, I can. It's hard to be a prophet in your own city.
Yep.
Interesting.
Because they used to seeing you a certain way.
They watched you grow up. They watched you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Someone's hair and kick someone in the shin. They watch you play in the lake or the rivers with mud guppies and stuff like they watch you do all those little things that kids do. And they've seen you grow up, and then now you're a wiser, older version of yourself, but they still see you as that little child.
Yep.
So you have to, and it's hard to navigate that, but you have to. I had to move to a different city and then eventually a different state, so that people realize that I'm not the same kid that got into fights all the time. I'm not the same kid that would, cause problems or things like that. Like I was always getting in trouble, so I was the rebellious one growing up. I'll admit that. But it's because I didn't see a way out, any other way out except for I took right at that time, right? I was limited on my knowledge. But yeah, it's hard for them to, and until you come back as a totally different person, they'll continue to see you the same way. So if you don't move away, if you stay in the same city your whole life, they're always going to talk to you a certain way. Even if you set them new boundaries and you voice it to them, there's still going to be that lingering, anytime you do anything remotely to what you used to when you were younger, they instantly bring it up. Oh, there's Jorge again, being the same kid he was when he was 5 or 10 years old. There's him being oversensitive.
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So it's just just like I said, it's hard being it's you can't be a prophet in your own city, right? You have to go out, you have to venture out, do new things, meet new people.
So if you become wiser, but you,
Yes.
the people who know you don't realize that you've become wiser, or they
Unless-
don't take you seriously.
Unless
Correct.
they've done the same thing and actually went outside of their block and home and stuff, they're gonna treat you the same way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard to find because entrepreneurs are part of that 1%. So you got 99% of society that's not understanding the thought process at all.
Facts.
That's not anywhere you're coming from. And then throw
Yeah.
on top of that any other things that you have, like if you have ADHD, if you have a learning disability, you have all those things. I said I was a published author earlier, but what I didn't say is that I have a learning disability, I have a reading disability. But I'm a published author. So the labels that they gave me growing up are completely demolished. Anytime anybody asks me, oh, how are you doing? So yeah, I have a published book, I'm an online course creator. I created a course on my own, a lot of reading, a lot of writing. And then they take a step back and they're like, oh wow, I can't believe, I would never have thought of you doing something like that. Yeah, it's because you have a limiting belief of me and my capabilities, and I don't see things the same way.
Yep.
I got something to say about that. Just kind of to piggyback off of that. Oh, thanks for the lurk, Loon. Whoever you're looking for. We got. It was probably on my chat. Yeah. Hi. Here, let's type it in the chat. Can't hear.
I know I want to do that. Here.
Yeah. Yeah, shoot, the whole thing where they see you a certain way back then, lazy, unmotivated, attention seeking, all that, right? And you mentioned, especially if you have like a disability or you have ADHD, absolutely, 100%, where you learn, that's part of the regret and shame that you feel learning, well, I should say that I felt when I learned that I have ADHD this year. That like all those things that people were saying, like, oh man, like why can't you just like stay organized? Why can't you do this or that? It's like, it's just laziness. You don't, it's not that it's like in one ear and out the other. It's that there's a lot of stuff going in your ears and swimming around in there, and your prioritization gets a little off kilter because you're prioritizing the dopamine hits first, because that's what you do when you don't have coping skills, so you don't have a butler managing your brain.
Yep.
And so later on in life, right, you have to explain this. And me especially having to explain this to people this year, it's like all that stuff was because of my disability. And there are people out there like my own father who doesn't believe in ADHD. And so he still believes that it's like a made up thing, a construct, and that, you just need to do better. I don't really want to talk more about my dad. But anyway,
You're good,
that's
bro.
just an example.
You're okay. It's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I feel exactly where you're coming from. My father doesn't believe in it either. Matter of fact, the doctors tried to diagnose me when I was a kid, and my dad refused to get me on medication. And while that's all well and good, I had to find other ways of navigating. And he actually took a lot of his time to study a little bit more about the neurotransmitters and how to communicate with someone that has symptoms of ADHD, and how to get them to different ways that you can get them to focus, right? And there's always the fidget spinners nowadays that they have and things like that. We just learn a different way. We retain things a different way. And if you don't understand how we receive information and how we process things, then there's going to be an issue. I had to learn, because I couldn't sit still, I had to learn a different way. And I had that going into the Marine Corps and boot camp, where I need to move. But if I move, I get destroyed, and so does everybody else in my platoon.
Yep.
So I had to find a way to do that. And my father had put me in martial arts traditional martial arts that teach you meditation and focus and others, I mean, different skills to help balance things out, because your mind is going a million miles per hour with ADHD. Your mind is operating faster than your body can most of the time, and then your body's trying to play catch up. And other times it flips the other way around, where your body's going really fast and your mind is trying to catch up. And then there's no really on-off switch for that. It just happens, right? And that's why you get started on a task really quickly, but then you change the task before you finish it and start doing something else. So I had to learn through, and thankfully I had to learn through martial arts. My dad had helped me focus on moving just my toes inside my shoes, so that it would appear like I'm sitting still, like I'm not moving at all, but my toes are going crazy in my shoes, like a duck on the water. The duck looks calm, cool, collected on the surface, but under the water, his feet are kicking.
So
You have to teach yourself these coping skills. No, it's so good.
You have
You
to
have
teach
to.
yourself these things. And if I didn't know that, boot camp would have been the living hell for me. I had to learn that in school, and my father would talk to the teachers, let them know, hey, he's got symptoms of ADHD, he has to move around a lot, use that to your advantage and have him clean the classroom. Yep. He'll be able to focus on what you're saying while he does that, trust and believe. So, and that also caused other problems with the students, because they saw me as a teacher's pet. So they picked on me, and I had to kick their butt.
Double-edged sword.
At a time, right? So that thankfully I know martial arts, and I was able to put them in their place relatively quickly. But if it wasn't for the training, if it wasn't for all of those things, if it wasn't for my dad refusing to put me on Adderall and to put me on all these medications that have other side effects, he really had to learn how to navigate training me and giving me the upper hand with something that they were trying to label me as. I can never sit in a classroom and learn the traditional way, the teacher's lecturing in the front and me sitting still in the desk. I can never do that. I was
Right.
never able to do that. So I had to learn different ways. I had to learn ways to move without people seeing.
Yep.
like
did.
I've got some stuff before. So, pause my game real quick. Playing some backyard baseball.
let's go.
Talking
Hell
about
yeah.
Nostalgia. Talking about nostalgia. So, you know, I was diagnosed with ADHD in '95, and my parents were like, "Yeah, we can't put our kids on drugs," and partially to the fact that we're like,
Is there anything you can do?
"What?"
Torwood or
He's talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay, my bad. So I was like, "Wait a minute, what's happening?"
sorry about that.
So, you're good. Shit, I lost train of thought. ADHD.
Right?
You got
Just hit
diagnosed.
hard right there.
You got
So
diagnosed.
I got diagnosed in like 95 when I was 4 years old. And I was in pre-K and they were already like, oh, this is a problem. And I made it all the way to 6th grade. My parents paid for me to go to a private school, which my parents didn't have to make me do that. But in that school, it was very individualized style of teaching. I was only getting the class with a standing desk because I couldn't sit. I had my own reading corner when because the other kids were so far ahead. Because it was a private school, those kids were already reading at 2nd grade level. I was in kindergarten, could barely spell my name, and things like that. And without that private school and private teaching, I don't think I'd be where I am today. But it's still just even by halfway through the year, even the private school was like, hey, we're doing everything we can. And we can't. They're like, we've never had to say this, but we're actually going to have to say that he needs to be put on medication. Like, typically we have always been able to push away from that, and always been able to figure out some kind of teaching method, but we're running out of ideas. And so I did eventually go on medication against what my parents wanted. And right now as a father, I'm going through the whole thing because I know both of my kids have it. I'm like, oh god.
Hereditary.
Oh, they're just me in a nutshell, exactly. So I'm like, God, I want to hold off as long as I can because I know what the end result's gonna be. I do, but I want to hold off, and because I want to push them a little bit and push their boundaries a little bit and push as far as I can. But with my daughter, who's she's 7 now, it's like, okay, it's time to start getting her evaluated and stuff like that. And it's that's a hard thing to do as a parent. I will have to say, be like, hey, you've done everything you can and it wasn't enough. So to tell yourself as a parent, like, you didn't do enough, it does suck. I will say that, especially as a parent who knows. I know, and I feel like, God, how could I not fix it? And so, not saying I know where your parents are at on this. Not saying I know your parents, because I don't. But as a parent who has grown up with ADHD and is now seeing it through their child, I can tell you right now, it's hard to say, hey, there's nothing else I can do. Somebody else is gonna have to take over, like a medicine or something. Not somebody else, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a really hard thing to admit to yourself as a parent, I think. So, I'm not saying that in all cases, at all.
It's very true.
And one thing I'd like to say, because we were talking about bullying and stuff, and about, y'all mentioned something about, you know, oh, what was it you said, Jorge, about the prophet thing? Sorry,
You can't be a prophet in your own town.
right, and people like, oh, you grew up this way and whatever, right? So I not only ADHD, dyslexic, and a couple other things, but also an only child, so I always get stamped with that, and I'm like, dude, I've got a lot of, I don't know if only children got put with the same kind of weight on my shoulders as I did, but I was like the only one that got, I didn't have brothers and sisters that were like, hey, you didn't do your chores, so you're getting a spanking. And I get to look at the older sibling and be like laughing at them as they got spanking. I did all the chores, and I got mad. It was not fun. I don't know, so when people were like, you were an only child, you didn't do shit. I was like, wait, no, you get to split all your chores up between 4 other people. I had to do all of it by myself. This is bullshit.
Don't know,
So
man.
like I guess more of the stigma on the only child thing is where I'm gonna be like, hey, fuck you. Fuck all of you. That was not fun. Like, I had to earn shit and it sucked. It was like, I won't go too far into it because now I'm starting to ramble. I'm gonna make this go on forever. But like, that's just to throw another stigma onto something. The only child thing is like, hey, when your parents expect a lot from you, though,
Yeah.
being an only child is not fun. I can promise you that. My parents were awesome, but like, their expectations were like 100. Like, if I made B's, I got in trouble because I was by myself. Like, hey, we giving you all of our time. You better fucking do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me.
I was told similar things. I was told things like, "Oh, you're the third born. You should be perfect."
Yeah, my younger cousin has the same issue. Swear, and he's the third born. Granted, he is the better of the 3, but
I like to think that I am.
you seem pretty awesome to me, or I gotta say.
Yeah,
All his brothers are dope.
but
though.
that's because I got my butt whooped by my dad and my brother, and all that super highly insensitive training, as my dad called it. Made me tougher. He gave me a lot of shit. I took a lot of shit from them, but it made me a stronger person.
So, right. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So I want to tell 2 more quick stories that have to do with this, just really quick in succession. So, like I said, the only child thing, people like thinking I was spoiled. My mom thought I was spoiled my whole life. I tell my wife these stories about like, yeah, I used to get my butt whipped by my dad all the time, but my mom didn't know. You know, these type of things. And my dad would be like, hey, no, I saw you flip off your mom when she turned away. Let's go. And like would get me, you know, like he should. I flipped off my mother who raised me and birthed me. Like I'm a butthole, you know. I deserve whippings. But like, but my mom never really knew. She knew a couple of them, you know. Well, I tell my wife all these stories about me getting spanked and stuff. And we're sitting at dinner one day, and my wife just starts talking about, well, you know, Cameron tells me this and that, and my dad across the table stares at me. He's like, fool, I'm gonna kill you. I'm 35 years old. The look my dad had on me, I felt like a 5-year-old again. I thought I was gonna die. Because my wife just spilled the whole beans about my dad correctly parenting me. I don't know. Sorry. And then I don't know why I came up with that. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It seems they're stuck with you.
Oh, dude. Oh, because he did the right thing. I needed that. See, I already lost the other one. There we go. Guys, ADHD at its finest, even as adults.
It's okay, guys.
Thank you.
You guys did your thing, bro. I love it. You guys had amazing segments, bro. So proud for all of y'all. Wait, if you want to go ahead and go to the next question, it'd be great.
Yes, so the next one is kind of catering towards Twitch and or like any other streaming service that you guys may be doing, but it's talking to an empty chat, and why is this important?
Z Fighter.
Please tell me.
Hell yeah. Why is this important?
Yes.
Like, yeah, talking to an empty chat.
Because you actually don't know. Yeah, you actually don't know who's listening. It's good practice for when people are engaged in your chatting, and there are a myriad of reasons why you should be basically just chatting all the time, even if no one is saying anything to you. So my advice is have like a list of just topics, like things that you did throughout your day, like what did you eat? What was your day like leading up to this? Did you accomplish anything that you're proud of? Did anyone call you that you had a conversation? Like, what was your conversation about? Like, you can keep going and going while you're picking away at your game, unless the game like takes your focus, then you like, you know, you got to focus on that little bit there. But otherwise, this will also prompt the people who are listening to then engage. And it's good practice for when they do start engaging, and that builds that engagement up in your segments. Not only that, but let's say you want to post your VOD later. It's less likely that someone's going to watch your VOD on YouTube if you're not saying anything during it, because no one's talking in your chat. Instead, you need to be talking all the time so that those who do catch your VOD later have something that you know, they can put on in the background. Because a lot of times they're not watching it, they're listening to it. And so you're basically like a radio host, a radio DJ, just giving the hits about your life or talking with the chat. That's why it's good to repeat what the chatters are saying, right? You don't just respond to it and say, oh yeah. Instead, you read what they said and then you say, okay, yeah, and now let me respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to hold on. And this is something that I was talking about recent, actually, with your stream, my dude. Is literally I love hopping into your streams because it is either you explaining the gameplay and what you're doing and exactly what you're doing, which is something that I love because you play games that I typically don't play. Like I don't play any Metroidvania, any of that kind of stuff. So I'm going in so fucking confused half the time I'm watching your videos because I'm just like, what is the goal? What are we even trying to accomplish here? And you do such a beautiful job of explaining exactly what you're doing, exactly the thought process that's going through your brain. And it may just seem to you like it's just word vomit and jumble, but it helps me to understand just the game in general. Like, okay, this is what you're doing. You're not just like mindlessly jumping across the walls and doing these double jumps and sliding over here. You're like, okay, I'm doing this and this and this and this leads to this and this leads to this. And it's either that conversation or you are just talking about whatever. And it's so fun because it's just, I can pop in and I'm either going to get just the most random of this is what I ate today. Oh, hey, da 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 da. And it's you being able to kind of have, in a not crazy way, but a conversation with yourself. Or you're going through and explaining the gameplay to make it palatable for people who, like me, don't necessarily play those types of games and may not understand even what is going on in that game. So I very, very much love kind of the model that you've set with that, and I have to commend you on that. That you're doing phenomenal with that, my dude.
I gotta say, you yourself, Witty, when you are in the chat and engaging with the chatters, so she has this ability, you guys, and I don't know if she's gonna talk about herself in this way, but to like make each person in the chat feel like they are heard. And maybe it takes her a while to get to their comment, you know. I'm sure it's something she's working on.
Or to the game.
Yeah.
Or to the game. But it doesn't matter, because what's happening is she is getting engagement on her Twitch channel. And that goes into the analytics, believe it or not. Which is why, like, you know, you see her consistently during her Yap sessions, like 20 viewers on there. And she's a small streamer right now, but she's going to get bigger because of this. You guys realize this, right?
And she gonna read all 150 of them damn users' chats.
She's gonna have to make it a sub-only chat eventually. This is gonna
Yes,
have to
We will.
And she's gonna
Well,
still
or it'll
read,
be a billion comments that she'll never get to.
and she's still gonna read all them comments one by one. It's gonna be 3 hours, and then she gonna finally get to the game, boy. Come on now.
It's gonna be, you gotta sub to feetonly.com, feetonly.com.
Witty's foot parmesan. I know you're gonna do it, Try. Go ahead.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
Well, okay, and that's the thing is like, I never felt growing up that I got my voice heard, and I never felt special. I always felt like just the kid that was just tossed to the side. So when people are in chat, I am so interested in everybody that comes in, and it's just, I want to know what you guys are doing. I am, and it's a genuine interest. It's not just like, oh, let me read through this real quick. Like, I love knowing what everybody is doing, and I want everybody to have that little special moment. And I always tell people, I want to be that little ray of sunshine for everybody. I want to be able to, if this is your first time coming into my chat, I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel like you can be yourself. And I also want you to know that I am genuinely interested in everything that you're doing. Like, I absolutely love that. I love getting to connect with people, and I love getting to talk with people. So that's, even if we get the fucking 30-second slow mode and I'm still 5 minutes behind and I'm talking about things that are happening 20 minutes later and I may not know the context anymore, but for some way I can make the roundabout and get back to it, I still want everybody to have that moment of, this is your time to shine. It's very intimidating. I know when I first started getting on Twitch, I was so intimidated to even hop into a streamer, even a small streamer. It could have been a big streamer or a small streamer, but I was so intimidated to chat because I was like, okay, if I get in there, I'm going to say something stupid. And all these people are going to be like, oh my gosh, who is this idiot in this channel right now? Or the streamer's just going to not read my comments. Because that was one thing that I had happen to me is when I first started on kind of just viewing different communities, before I kind of found my niche of people that I really enjoyed, is I would get into big streamers, I would say something, and then it would just be like lost to the board. And it's like, okay, I'll go fuck myself now, I guess. Like, it was one of those where you never really kind of felt heard. Even though the streamer's wanting engagement, they're not addressing any of the engagement. Which, I mean, that may be their brand. That may be what their type is. But I hated that feeling of, I've finally got the balls to say something, and I've said something, and now I feel like I just kind of wasted my time. I'm gonna see my way out, peace, kind of thing. And I never want people to do that. I want people, when they come into the stream, you're gonna see this eccentric, me ranting about something absolutely insane. I'm gonna be throwing hands, I'm gonna be sweating, there's gonna be the fucking Pornhub sound going off, there's gonna be people going, show me the kitties, like there's gonna be so much happening, and it's like, I want just people to be able to hop in and go, these are my people. I have finally found the place where I feel like I can be myself and know that you, regardless if this is your first time or your 400th time in my stream, you are loved and you are wanted. And I try to make sure that I pay attention to everybody's name, and I know, like, okay, you've been in here. I give, like, kind of like how Lone Stone does. He gives everybody nicknames and stuff. I want to make sure, like, hey, let me get you a nickname in here. Let's make you feel special. What is something that I can do to make you feel special today? And that's such a fun, I don't know, I find that to be the most fun. Like, as much as I love playing video games, I definitely love talking more than anything because I'm just so intrigued. And it's helped kind of connect, like, our communities in a crazy way. Like Yensei over here. Yensei's fucking across the pond over in Sweden. Like, that is insane that we are able to connect people from across the pond over here.
Who's he fucking across the
Yensei-
pond?
Yeah, he's fucking across the pond, man.
Sweden. He's in Sweden.
Yes, and it's so fun that we have people in all different walks of life, different stages of life, different ages of this is where we can all kind of come together, and this is our commonality, is right here in this moment. We can have discussions, we can have debates, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, even if I'm just playing the game and we're not having like a whole yapping session anymore and I'm super hyper-focused into the game and I'm chomping on my lip, I at least try to give commentary, because what if I say something that, you know, triggers something in someone that's like, oh yeah, no, that's the way my brain thinks. Like, let me go in here. And like you guys were saying, it's, you never know who is watching. You never know who on a whim has found your channel, has clicked on it, and is now sitting there. And you only have a certain amount of time to grab that person in. Because if it's something that, like, if I'm scrolling through Twitch and I click on your channel and it's just silence and stuff, and I'm sitting there for like 4 to 5 minutes and you haven't even looked at chat even though it's going, you're not really engaged, it's so, you feel so disconnected to the streamer. So I want people to feel that connection, that genuine connection of, I'm here, I know for a fact that I am going to be heard, or my voice is going to be heard in here. Because everybody needs that feeling of just being, I don't know, being comfortable and being wanted.
Yep. It's your responsibility as a streamer to make your streams popping, man.
God, yes. I love it.
That's why Malik is always singing in his streams.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Gives you something to listen to, gives you something to talk about. Like, it's beautiful.
Practice for him too.
Yeah. So, sorry, I completely understand where she's coming from with making sure that everybody that's paying attention to you and your podcast or your video log, make sure everybody's heard and seen, right? It's very important. I without going into the back. There's a story that, if you'd like, I can go into, but
Only
everybody's time, I'll go into it like that.
So
I have no
only if you
problem.
want to, bro. Only if you want to.
So my family had Sunday evening family meetings, and we would talk about, they would talk about, what's going on, what's happening, not just in the family and our immediate family, but our extended family and things like that. And they would ask, the kids what's going on in their life, and what always felt like, except for me, like I would say, who has a question? And people would raise, my brothers would raise their hands, and I would raise my hand, but no one would. After talking to my brother and going back and forth with the oldest one, Louis, and then John, they would just forget to ask me. And it went like that for years, until one day I snapped. And because I wasn't heard, I wasn't seen, I wasn't respected, I felt invisible. So I slammed my hand down on the table, and it was like a glass coffee table, or was a glass coffee table. After I smacked it, it shattered. I was 13 at the time. And I cursed everybody out. I, literally went down the line. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool, mom. Fuck you. I'm out. And I told them why, right? Before I said all that, I was like, I'm never heard. Nobody ever calls on me. I've raised my hand the whole freaking meeting. There's no point in me even being here because you guys don't ever listen to me. You don't give me a chance to speak. And then I said, F you, F you, F you, F you. Mom, you're cool. F you. And I left. I went to my room, and my father called me back. surprisingly, he didn't smack me. He didn't beat me up. He understood. And yeah, that moment, like if I didn't stand up for myself, that moment, I don't know, it was moments like that that allowed me to have that thought process that if I do things correctly, I can get away with doing certain things as long as it's done in justice, right? For a just reason or a just cause.
Yeah, everything with intention.
Correct. So, but I didn't think that I could do that and get away with it because my dad was such a hard ass.
You approach it with kindness, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So
It was very interesting times.
it is, man. Childhood always is very interesting when you grew up a certain way. Like, for our next topic, Miss Whitmire, go ahead and do that.
Okay. 2 seconds, let me get back over this. And we have our next one is gonna be normal versus weird. How people
Weird all the way.
deal with tribalism and social cliques whilst trying to remain an individual.
Yeah.
So, yeah, normal versus weird, how people deal with tribalism and social cliques whilst trying to remain an individual.
I'll go ahead and speak on it first. All right, who was that? Who was that? Who said that?
You go first. You're gonna be able to speak on this better than me because suckers.
So the one thing we gotta always keep in mind, bro, like it's human nature for us to want to be liked and accepted, no matter where we're at. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the main things. That sense of belonging, that sense of, hey, I got people that really, you know, mess with me in a certain way that's like different than people that I just consider acquaintances. You know, I have deep friends or close friends, but it can be hard when the social norm is to act one way, but that's not who you really are. And in school, like, you know, that's one of the things we all fall for. There, it's like we gotta act a certain way in order to get a certain type of affection towards people. Even people that even say, "Oh, I'm gonna act by myself and do what I want to do. I don't care." You still kind of subconsciously do that whole "I'm gonna move a certain way to get a certain amount of acceptance from a certain amount of people." And it happens to all of us. And to them, that could be just normal because normal is just the socially accepted thing. But weird is what everybody is, because all it means is out of the ordinary. Everybody's out of the ordinary in some way, shape, or form. No one is directly the same. Like, everybody's DNA code is different. And I've been called weird my whole entire life. Like I said beforehand, I've never had a place where, like, you know, people feel like, oh, they belong, and they got like people that they really, really close to, and it's like, oh my god, this is my bestest of all friends. I'd probably say like the closest person is my best friend Spec. That's like the only person where it's like, I know that's literally my brother for life, for real. Out of everybody I talk to, Jorge is too. So me and Spec got that.
Yeah, they got more history.
Yeah, we got that type of connection, and it can be hard to be yourself when, like, you've always been told that being yourself is wrong for some people. Like, you know, like for me, like, I've always been told, even from family, it's like, yo, why are you acting this way? Or why are you doing this way? And it's like, this is just who I am. This is who I'm being, you know? And it's just for reasons that's, like, different than, you know, not because anything was wrong with me, but because of how they viewed me and, you know, things of, like, family history and how it can be when people have old wounds that they haven't addressed and everything. But like I said, as we talked about in the last topic, as an adult, how, you know, you treat me as a child is not how you treat me as an adult now, so I don't gotta deal with that no more. But it can be disheartening and hard for folks to want to truly be themselves, which is being their weird, true, authentic selves, because they're surrounded by people who want them to be normal. And like I said, society, it's designed for us to conform. It doesn't matter if we like it or not, we just gotta conform. And
They
so
try to make us weird is where it's at.
Exactly, and that's what I was about to say, is that you have to have a very strong will to be yourself, because there's always going to be someone that's going to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. And if you don't have the will to be like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do, fuck you, Like free, that's why I fuck with Free Stream, because I really adopted that moniker where he said where he's gonna be exactly who the fuck he is, and he doesn't give a fuck if you like him or not. And if you don't like him, that just means that you and him wasn't meant to be cool. And I was like, I really fucked with that moniker, how he carries himself, because that's being true to who he is. But it requires you to know who you are.
I was gonna just talk about all that, and I'm like, damn, he just hit it all. I don't even know if I have to speak on this one.
What's up, Cyberlaria? Thank you for joining in. But yes, that's very important, because there's so many kids right now that are being bullied just for being themselves. There's so many adults right now who are dealing with the fact they got bullied, that they scared to be themselves because they don't want to deal with those real traumas of being bullied. You feel me? They don't want to they don't want to go through that feeling of like, oh, they're gonna make fun of me again for being myself. But deep down, that's who they really want to be. So you gotta have that strong will. Go ahead.
I thought I hit a gap. That's my bad. I'm so sorry. I was just gonna say real quick, like on that, I got bullied a lot as a child for like trying to jump in, like I just did there, and miss the mark, like I just did there.
You're good.
And, but it was one of those things where like I'd always try to jump into groups, and I always try to be friends, and eventually I was just like, dude, I'm gonna go over here and sit on the swings and swing. If somebody wants to swing next to me, they'll swing next to me, and if they don't, they don't. I mean, there was obviously other things I did as a kid that, we're not gonna talk about. Oh, fuck it, I'll talk about it. It's not as funny,
Hey, appreciate
like,
before you say anything, it's gonna be recorded, so keep that in mind.
That's totally fine. This isn't that bad.
Right.
I was 4. I didn't do anything stupid. Or I was 5. I didn't do anything that well. I'll let y'all misjudge me. So, there was a thing. This was the only thing I could get the people in my class to like, kind of like, be like, oh my god, the kid's gonna do it again. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And there was on the side of the playground wall, there was a brick wall. And I would run full gas into that wall, head first. And it would get, that was my trying to get in with the crowd. And I did it, and I would, dude, yeah, it's really dumb. When you're ADHD, you just want people to think you're normal, or people like you. There it is. That's the word, because that was not normal.
You're always worried about whether or not they do. You overthink it.
Oh yeah. So I just straight up head into wall. Dead serious. Not that's not a euphemism. See, I'm overthinking it right now.
SpongeBob ripping his pants over and over again.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That was me, but with a wall. And eventually I finally went, and one day it clicked. I'm like, dude, they don't even like me. They just think, look at the idiot. And that's when it finally clicked for me when I was young. Like, I'm just gonna do what actually is fun for me, and eventually somebody will be my friend.
Yep. And
if they're not, maybe when I go to the next school or whatever, I'll find some new friends.
Exactly, man.
But like, it was a whole thing, dude. And that's been my whole thing since then. It took a lot of hitting my head against an immovable object, literally. To the point I was like, hey, this is who I should be.
Yep. That's good, man. You definitely hit the
No,
mark.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. He's a Cyberlaria. I switched from Skyrim because Skyrim crashed on my PS4, so I'm playing Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, listen, mine is going back and forth so bad right now. I've probably played 10 minutes of Skyrim this whole time.
Oh, really?
Bro, that shit crashed.
Wait, so no one's playing the same game? Well, I'm still playing Link to the Past, but you guys are playing completely different games now?
Yeah, because
I'm still on Backyard Baseball, if that helps.
I'm on yapping. I'm just talking.
Yeah,
stuck it up, though.
yeah.
yeah, that Skyrim pissed me the fuck off, because I was having a good time. I was chilling, and then it was like, you know what, we're gonna crash now. I was like, man, fuck you. I'm playing
I
different
actually
game
just
now.
realized like my audio is like completely scuffed on this. It's okay. This will go up just as a VOD. I'm not gonna make any like other YouTube content out of this, but like I forgot to set up my channels and stuff.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Fuck it, we do it live.
Yeah, it's all good. We're doing it live.
Yep.
Exactly, man. Don't even worry about it, man. This is what it's all about. I forget where I was gonna go with it, but to essentially jump back to what I was saying. Yeah, for me, like it took a while for me to get to this point. I think I was around 25 when I just really realized, because one of my leaderships when I was in the military said this one thing about you get to an age where like you really start to realize how people are, and when you want to really be a genuine person, it can be very lonely because you think, okay, this one person I have that is really my really good friend, and they accept me for who they are, and then they leave, and it's like, well, I got these 3 other people that's really cool with me, and then it's like, oh wait, then they leave, and you think, okay, well, at least this person will stay to really fuck with me. Then they leave, and then you realize it's really just you at the end of the day, no matter if people stay or people go. So you really have to just stay true to yourself, no matter what it is. And it's like, I've been around so many people that I've just, even if they claim they think they real, when certain people come around, I've seen people switch up when certain people that they like come around, and they turn into a whole different person. Like, remember when we were talking about that pretty privilege shit, and like how people switch up when it's a pretty privilege? Yeah. Imagine somebody that just wants to be in an in crowd with somebody that they like, start talking a whole different way, start just ass kissing and dick sucking. Like, I'm trying to be vulgar, but it's just that's the way they was acting. They was literally acting like a whole fan because this person that they was talking. I'm like, bro, you don't even talk like this when I'm around. So, but this one dude, because he gets women and he acts a certain way.
That shit.
It's like, man, fuck, I don't want to be that way just because this person does something that's better than me, whatever it is. I don't care, man. Like my friend Jorge, I thought we didn't even have that conversation. Jorge is an amazing businessman, and I will always respect him for it, and he's way better than me, but I'm not going to act a certain way just because he does something that's better than me. I'm going to be who I am, he's going to be who he is, and he respects me for that, and I respect him for that. That's what it's all about.
Race, you're not going against anybody else but yourself when it comes to stuff like that.
Exactly, man. So I'm going to be as weird as I am, and luckily I've had great friends. Like, I can definitely say Jorge, Spec, and the rest of our little group that we have are my really, really good friends, and I'm cool with that because I know that they're going to be real and honest with me because I'm going to be real and honest with them. So I don't mind being weird, even if it's people that are in certain cliques, and if I don't fit in your clique, that just means that we wasn't meant to be friends.
The moment you start trying to be something that you're, the moment you start trying to be something different is the moment you stop being who you are, and you lose so much of yourself, and not only but you also lose the ability to come off as genuine. So you go into a group and you're like, I'm going to try to be this nice businessman. This is me personally talking about this because I have trouble with this all the time, where I try to go into an interview for a new spot and I try to be like, okay, I'm going to be professional, whatever this, and I lose so much of my genuine self and so much of just who I am as a person, what would actually make me better for that spot. 100%. But I can't get out of the mindset. It's like I have to be better than who I am. But if I could go into that interview and just be who I am, I'd pass it with flying colors.
Exactly, man.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's fantastic. You hit that on the head. I love it.
Yeah. And it's like you're feeding in what you truly want to be, because you can't serve two masters, man. You have to either be true to who you are or continue putting on that mask. But the difference is that when you feed who you truly are, on the inside you feel whole and in sanctity, because that's who you really actually want to be, versus feeding that mask that you put on, because now it's like it's draining because that's not who you really want to be. I'd rather be just disliked or loved for who I am rather than just people love me for who I'm not. Like celebrities go through that, where like if they're not really true to themselves and they put on a mask of who they are, they lose themselves and they're depressed, but everybody loves them, and it's like you don't even love yourself, man. It's like, what are you doing?
Exactly, and I think that was one of the hardest things I think I went through, especially being a dancer majority of my life, is there's this stigma around what a dancer is, how they're supposed to act, how they're supposed to look, and I did not fit into that mold, and was constantly told that I was the weirdo of a dancer, basically, because I wasn't the typical blonde-haired, blue-eyed, prima ballerina, anything of that nature. I was rough and tumble, raised by my dad, played video games, and liked to curse, and that is just kind of who I was. And for so long, in college especially, I would try to fit into the mold of let me be the prima donna. Let me wear dresses. Let me do my hair in these extravagant curls. Let me be the pretty girl, I guess. And let me just try to pretend to be this person that I'm not. And you said the word masking earlier, and that's kind of what I was doing, is I was trying to put on this mask of, this is somebody who I've seen people act like, and I'm trying to mimic it. So I was trying to mimic what I thought would be the person that everybody would want me to be as the prima ballerina. And that was fucking exhausting, doing that every single day, because it wasn't myself. It wasn't genuine, and I felt gross because it wasn't genuine. It was the most fake, unauthentic version of myself that I had ever been, and people didn't like me any more or any less when I was doing that. Well, honestly, people probably liked me less because I was fighting so hard trying to be this person that I didn't gain any connection. It was hard to connect with me because everything was just surface level at that point, because I was just mimicking the outer appearance. I hadn't been able to figure out the inner kind of workings of it. So regardless of how you talked to me, spoke to me, on the outside I looked a certain way, but on the inside I wasn't able to convey the I'm the pretty princess that everybody wanted me to be. And that, it took me a while to kind of get out of that idea, I guess, of not everybody has to be the same. You don't have to conform in that sort of way to be successful in dance. And not that I'm like a huge, like, went to Broadway and did all this kind of stuff, but I was fairly successful in dance. I mean, I've professionally, I guess, for 20-something years, going through studio dancing to high school to college dancing. I got a full ride scholarship. I got to go to London and dance, do performances, got to perform on cruise ships, all that kind of stuff. So that whole idea of, this is who I need to be to become the best of the best dancer, was not something that I needed to do. And it took me a while to realize that, because it's like, no, people wanted me and liked me because of the original way that I came into the group, which was the weirdo rough and tumble. But for whatever reason, I got the idea in my brain of, well, people will like me more if I try to become like everybody else. And it didn't work out that way. It would never have worked out that way, because I would have never, that wasn't just me to begin with. So how was I supposed to, I don't know, keep that train going, basically, of, this is not my authentic self. I'm gonna have to rewire my entire brain chemistry to become this person that I'm not and don't want to become.
Facts, man. Facts. And they may never like you, like folks who may find you weird or whatever, but they will always respect the fact that you can be yourself. They may never say it, but then their actions could be like, you know what? He's being himself regardless at the end of the day. I may not like it, but I can respect the fact that that man is being who he is in their whole demeanor, bro. People, you can feel it and people can feel when you're not being who you really are, man. And they will call you out on it every time. So it's better to be disliked for being who you are versus something that you're not, man. Every time.
Correct.
100%
agree.
Oh, man.
100.
Man, I love that topic, man. You all are amazing creatures, man. Promise you are. All right. This leads into the same.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Say again?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Next question is, the many masks we wear, do you wear any? If so, when do you take it off? Anybody can go. I'll go last for this one.
Thanksgiving.
I got. So, I wouldn't say, at least as far as for me is concerned, I wouldn't say masks, but hats.
Right.
Depending on what I'm doing, who I'm talking to, I wear a certain hat. And more often than not, people don't understand when I take one hat off and put another one on. They don't catch it until like 5 or 10 minutes into the conversation. They're like, "Hey, I was asking you a question about this, and you're being very serious or direct or stern about something else, about another topic." It's like, all right, well,
I don't know what to tell you in that one. A lot of times, because I go into coach mode all the time. That's a prime example.
Yeah.
Because I'm passionate about it. So you ask me a question, talking to me as a friend, and I instantly go into coach mode. Because I disassociate my emotions from the logic, and I just start sharing just knowledge. If you want someone to, I could have asked, would you like me to just listen, or would you like me to give some knowledge? And more often than not, they're like, oh, you can chime in, but they don't really mean it.
Yes, a lot of people lack that emotional
Oh my
intelligence.
god, yes. Oh my god, so many people will be like, yes, I want I want your opinion. And you could answer it exactly how they wanted you to answer it, and they'd still be I don't want to say ungrateful.
The answer they heard, so now they're complaining about it.
Yeah, they
Yes.
expect a certain
We'll
way,
go-
but they don't know how to
yes.
say it. I expect it a certain way because, again, emotional intelligence, a lot of people don't have it.
That one's earned. You're not born with that.
Exactly. Trial and error. Or should I say trials and tribulations?
Yep.
Trials and
He,
horror.
he might have been born with it.
Now,
Definitely.
as far as masks, back to the original question, Matt. What masks do you wear and when to take them off and to put them on? It's also a level of boundaries and expectations. If you have certain boundaries with people, you're not gonna and levels of expectation, you're not gonna give them a level of expectation that you wouldn't. You're not trying to receive something that you wouldn't give.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just a friend, I'm not going to expect or give things beyond the level of friendship that we have.
Exactly.
So I'm wearing a mask facilitated towards our relationship.
Yeah.
So and it's not an unhealthy thing. It depends on how you're wearing a mask, if you're pretending or if you're being legit.
Yeah, I want everybody else to go, man. I'm gonna go last.
Like I've said, and Malik kind of put this a little earlier, and I'm kind of in another spot where I'm like, well, shit, Malik already talked for me on this one, because it's the same thing. I'm not very good at putting on masks at all. I put one on, it falls off like 10 minutes later. I'm kind of who I am. I put on my worst mask during interviews, as you heard a second ago. Like that mask comes on, that terrified, like childlike mask. And then I tried to put another one over that that's like, hey, I'm confident, and I shit in the bed every time. But it's only because the thing is called an interview. Yep. If it was called anything else, flying colors. Dude, I could have the same conversation with you guys right now as I would in an interview, and I'd kill it. But I'd say the only mess that comes on is one I can't control, and that's when anything called an interview comes up. I can't say that. But any other time, I'm not purposely putting a mask on. I'm not putting a mask on for anyone. Not an in-law, not a family member, not a kid, not my children, not the kids I coach. They get me. The kids I coach don't get as many cuss words, though. I will say that. And that's about it. That's the only difference. They get a little less of the cussing.
They get free without the string. They just get
Would you
free.
say though that sometimes masks are useful?
Oh, I
100%.
wish I had them. Fuck.
Yes, masks have saved me. Just dealing, having certain trauma that has happened in my life. Masks have literally saved me from. I hate to use the word crashing out, but have saved me from spiraling into deeper, kind of darker places.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that. So
Okay.
kind of. Hang on a second. I'm sorry.
You're good.
So I was being interrupted. And I didn't want his voice to carry on through. I keep trying to mute my mic. But I completely agree with that, and that's why I was saying it's more of a hat than a mask, because you have to put your brave hat on, shield yourself from the traumas from the past, but you still want to be your authentic self.
and that's where it's kind of a fine line. But that's why I like the hat analogy over the mask, because dealing with the traumas and things like that, it's best to know like when to switch and when to take them out. But yes, absolutely. In as long as the mask metaphor that we're talking about is for those reasons more like a hat, then absolutely 100%. Some people, they put on a mask meaning changing their character, changing who they are, as opposed to putting on a hat of bravery, a hat of wisdom, a hat of intelligence, the CEO hat or the employee hat or the worker hat, the general hat, soldier hat. There's all different thought processes.
I'm so glad you made the difference between the hat and the mask thing, because I was gonna ask you once you finished. I was gonna ask you. I was like, hey, do you see the difference between the hat and the mask being this? And you're like hitting it on the head. I'm like, God dang, that's so perfect. Sorry.
No, you're good. Please, if there's something I say doesn't stick or you have questions, by all means.
Oh, it doesn't stick. It's knocking it out of the park right now, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you're hitting it on the head, brother. That's perfect.
That's my dog right there, yo. That's my dog right there. Excellent stuff, man. Anybody else have anything else for this?
I just quick touch base on the mask thing. I like we were saying, I think it is, and I do like the hat analogy rather than mask, because I feel like mask has kind of a negative connotation that you're not trying to be your authentic self and you're trying to kind of pretend to be someone else for that moment. It's more just kind of like a safety net. But I will say, masking was a huge thing that I did when I worked in the district clerk's office. So when I was dealing with felonies and things like that, and dealing with felons consistently throughout the day, that was something that I kind of had to, this is gross to think about, but putting on an empathy mask, because I was dealing with death row inmates is what I did. So I was doing appeals for people who were getting put away for life and for terrible things, and you still want to treat them as people, but also I've just read through 1,000 pages of how you've done miserable things for the last 20 years, and I have to pretend like that I didn't just read that and treat you as a human being. So I would say that was one of the masks that I would have to put on, is I would have to be cordial with you because I am in a business space, and this is, a government building, and I can't curse you out right here in front of everybody, but I still would have to it's still in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, I know what kind of person you are, but hey, let me speak to you as a human being. So that was one of the masks that I essentially had to wear for a few years until I quit that job because, got a better position in another job. And I'm so glad and blessed that I was able to, because I was whooped every single day. Every single day I'd come home from work, I would be fucking exhausted because I had to do that for 7-8 hours a day. I'd get home and then remove the mask and be like, holy shit, now I have to, every emotion that I internalized has now come to the surface, and it's like a big old fat pimple that just popped and exploded. And now I'm having to cope and figure out how to cope with it, with others around me, whether it was me myself, being around other people, being around a partner, and not take it out on them or beat myself up about it.
Yep.
Absolutely. I know, and the higher level of empathy that you have, the harder it is to do that. And the more decompression that you need to do, and the more release that you need to do, because you're now internalizing other people's emotions that you've interacted with.
Exactly.
So now you gotta focus on all of that as well. So it's definitely, it's how do I put it? I would say it's like a hockey mask, because you're going to war, but you're also making sure that they're treated a certain way, with some dignity as a human being.
Yeah, dignity. That's exactly the word. Yeah.
Also, 15-minute grace period. We have 15 minutes before it's 9 o'clock. I know Zenef said he only has 2 hours to be on here, so it's 15-minute warning for him.
Okay. We just got 2 more that we can bust through real quick.
Hell yeah. As far as my max stuff, I know I said I was gonna go last, but I'll go for it real quickly. I recently had a funeral because I lost a family member and everything, and you know, usually it's okay, it's alright. I processed it, I'm good. I'm only speaking on it now because it's important with the mass thing. There are family members that there's a lot of unresolved issues that I had with them, and you know, when you have unresolved issues and then like, you know, someone, you know, passes away and then you all have to come meet each other, those unresolved issues on top of like you lose somebody, that all comes to a head. And for me, I just equate it to the time and place for everything. A funeral is not a time and place to be talking about some things that happen between you and that person. So you just learn how to focus on the bigger picture rather than the feelings you may have accustomed about that person that you had. So I equate it to that. It's like there's a time and place for me to say certain things, and I know that through therapy and through things that I've done that you gotta learn how to say certain things at a certain time when it's time to say it. And I've done my best to find those places to do it. And I won't say I put on a mask, I say it's just I learned how to navigate certain spaces and state things when it's time, like how Woody said, like when she's ready to process the emotion at a time where she's in a safe space where she can actually unapologetically and safely say it. And it's not going to be something to where somebody just takes it out of turn. And I equate it to, like, I journal a lot, so the journaling helped me a lot to process emotions that I couldn't necessarily say to folks because I didn't know how to talk as much as I did now. And I didn't, no one taught me how to process, like, you know, heavy emotions the way I do now. So, yeah. As far as the hat thing that Jorge said, I definitely have learned how to take those hats and apply it to when it's time to actually apply the hats. And that was one of the examples of, like, you know, it's easy to just crash out and like cuss somebody out because of something that happened in the past between you and that person. But, you know, the mature side of you is like, you're at a funeral and you're here to mourn somebody that used to be here's life. So focus on that rather than whatever someone did to you.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that is a hard thing, like, honestly, to keep everything internalized and not let it kind of seep through in just everyday normal conversations.
And it takes time. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of just like I said, building emotional intelligence. So I equate it to that. I've always been the person where it's like, you know, I'm going to always watch and study myself so that way I know how to circumvent any type of situation and do it best for myself mentally, mind, body, and spirit wise. Go ahead, go to the next topic. Go ahead.
Okay. What hobby or interest shaped you the most?
I have no idea.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I got this one.
Really?
I should probably go first since I got to get going soon. But
yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Absolutely.
Reading, guys.
Ooh.
Reading is power.
Mm-hmm.
And reading what you love, really. It's one way to, like, it expands your mind past what you are taught. When I was in second grade, that's when I started reading novels. I know that's crazy to think about, but it goes back to my ADHD, is what I'm realizing is I couldn't sit still in class. The only thing that the teacher found that would keep me engaged and focused would put a book in front of me that I liked, and I would read the heck out of that. I'd still get straight A's in class, but I'd also stop bothering the other students. Because, you know, you're like cutting up when you got ADHD. You're like the class clown and shit, or you think you are. Yep. And it affects the learning of others. Even if, like, they're laughing and you're laughing, it also distracts what the teacher is doing. And so it would annoy the other students. Like, why is he reading so much? And the teacher's like, you see him causing a mess in class now?
Can I be happy, please?
But that's what that is, right? So, like, and you know, like, not to, I don't know if that's stealing free thunder or anything, but like that's how it that's how it shaped up for me. And I read all throughout my childhood and my teenage years, and it helped me become a little bit more learned. Got me really good with grammar, so it got me into this internship that I'm in right now, which is a creative writing internship.
There we go.
Which reminds me, I got to do some stuff for that soon. But it all comes together later on. So yeah, it definitely shaped who I am now. It shaped my worldview, the way I think critically. Even if I am impulsive to a lot of things I say and feel, otherwise, like I'm thinking deeply on things. I'm taking my time to process it, and I think reading helped with that. That's all I got.
And by the way, your life experience isn't going to be stealing thunder from anybody. I hope you don't think that. I'm sorry. Did that made you think that way?
Oh, I was just thinking like kind of like your own childhood experiences as well. If like you had something similar.
Well, I couldn't read. Was the difference? I couldn't read. So there's the difference between me and you. I had a couple different things on top of it.
Don't get me wrong. I can't read. In fact, it's like it's everything you can do to get me to like sit down and read something that like a textbook, or you know, if there's like a memorandum that comes across my desk and I got to read through it and understand it, like I don't know, I'm not putting the pieces together unless I have to, unless like there's no other distractions. But if everything else is attracting me and like it comes across my desk at work and I'm like, you know, and now aside from all this other shit that you're working on, you now have to read this thing and understand it and disseminate it. I'm like, oh God, it like throws a wrench in everything. So yeah, no, I'm still bad at reading.
Well, I mean, literally can't. With like the dyslexia and a couple other things, like I literally can't. That's why I went to the engineering field, because numbers don't mean different things. Well, okay, that's a lie. But
at least numbers can be
1
reliable.
+ 1 is always 7. I mean 2. Shit.
There you go.
1 + 1's always 2 type thing.
But Zenef, if you have to go ahead and go, you can go ahead and go. I appreciate you coming on and stepping in. I know Mego couldn't come in, but I appreciate you always taking up the reins when you're able to. Really appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah, anytime, man, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Of course,
Love you, Z.
man. Of course.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the rest of you guys, it is going to be a 2-hour mark in 6 minutes. Does anybody want to go for another hour, or are we ending off here? How are we doing it?
I am good to go.
Yeah, it's like I can't go another hour because I got tomorrow, but I can at least.
Other than the times I have to go piss girl piss or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, go piss girl.
As long as I can do that when I need to, I don't care.
Okay. We'll go ahead and just like do our closing statements here, so that way, you know, Witty has to go and everything.
Good.
So
Yeah, that works out.
I definitely do want to say to my friend Jorge, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come to this podcast and share your wisdom. It really has helped out a lot, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that it's going to help you out. I will definitely send you the footage so that way you can use it for yourself, and for your endeavors for your business, because I know you want to do that.
And I appreciate you having me here, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Dealing with our weird asses.
Yep.
I really also want to say that I really do want to just give Witty her flowers. I've always done it, but I want to give Witty her flowers. Where it's like, thank you so much for being a great co-host, man. Like, you really have helped out a lot with this whole thing of just helping me bring this whole thing of having a podcast and just having discipline with something and having people that you can trust as far as doing business with. Because I really do not like doing business with a lot of people, because people can be shady and they can be just greasy and weird, especially when the money comes into play. But just having somebody that really has a genuine spirit, it really does mean a lot to have somebody that I can call a good coworker and a good friend. So I appreciate you a lot for everything you've done at this point.
No, I absolutely love this. Like, I love that we've been able to not only maintain this, but like you said, get people that are willing and open to speak on things. Like, we can go from talking about how we've all been weirdos to touching on way more sensitive subjects. And we never have to essentially kind of worry about, like, is somebody gonna say something off the wall that's gonna derail everything? Like, what are we gonna have to, like, tiptoe around this? Like, I love the fact that, and it goes back to our communities that we've built up. These communities that we have all kind of found, combined, all this kind of thing, have been nothing but blessings. Like, true, genuine blessings. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
Anybody else want to do any closing statements before we head out?
So thank you guys for stopping in on my end. I know I did not stream this weekend, but I will be back to normal kind of schedule for Wednesday. We're gonna play games in Discord. Thursday we're gonna have our yapping time, and then Friday I have my company Christmas party, so I will not be streaming Friday, but Saturday and possibly Sunday we'll be back at it. So kind of normal. We're gonna reach some normalcy, and then probably about 2 weeks I'm gonna take off because your girl is moving. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna have my own streaming little space. So big things are coming. Everything's gonna kind of change up at the beginning of the year, and we're gonna have some cool new stuff. I know the J has been working. I've been saying it, but the J and I have been working on new overlays and things. So hopefully new overlays are gonna be thrown in there, as well as new space. So we're gonna kind of revamp ourselves at the beginning of the year.
Shout out to the J, man. The J be doing his thing for real.
Man, that's exciting.
Yes, and he streamed for the first time yesterday, and it was fantastic. Hold on. I'm gonna give him a shout out real fast.
Let's plug him.
Yes,
plug
the J,
everybody.
you guys. Yes, if you guys
Stream
have
some
not followed
D&D,
him-
right?
Yes, I don't know. I can't remember. For the King, I think is what it was.
Oh, for the king. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was so much fun.
Mama
What up, Mama
Slothman?
Slothman?
Mama, the village mom is in
boo.
attendance. What's going on? Right towards the end, but hey, we appreciate you coming through, showing love.
We got Jinsei in here too.
Jinsei the
And then
sensei.
Trial.
So,
Trial's gonna, be coming back out of the woodwork.
yeah, it's been
Eventually.
a minute since we had a trial stream, man. I need my moral win, trial. Playing around with me.
Yes, you Trial. No, so yeah, all these people that are in here that have been talking, all this kind of stuff, be sure to follow everybody in here. We're all just weirdos and good ass people, but we're gonna have, I love that we all play different games, we all have fun in our streams in different ways, and yeah. And then maybe we get some Jorge streams soon? Jorge streaming?
I was just about to mention that too. So
Yes!
I coach people and teach them to focus, right? Follow one course until success. So that being said, my mobile app is almost done, which leads me to my next task, my next goal on the list, which is my YouTube channel, my broadcast level YouTube channel. So I will be streaming episodes that way, kind of like table talk type deal, but the podcast name is Brunch Time with JV.
Ooh.
But at the same time, because I'm going to be in front of the computer doing things like that, getting everything set up, I'm also going to be doing something similar that we're doing here, just with other games, like with like Valheim and things like that, that kind of builder, world builder, right? So you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Where you're going and all those things, stuff like that. So
You're tapping into Twitch and YouTube then?
yes.
Okay.
So I just
Cool.
created a Twitch account, and I'll be pretty much doing both simultaneously, depending on the topic, right? Depending on sometimes I'll be talking about, as far as mental health is concerned, personal care, right? Doing some of the things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness. For modern day and age, it's video games. Video games bring people joy and happiness and a way to decompress and disconnect temporarily or briefly from, the day-to-day struggles and strife. Just a way to navigate and make sure you're taken care of. Because if you're not having fun in life, if you're not enjoying life, then you're not living.
Yep.
You're alive, but you're not living. So, and it's quite a difference.
Yep. So glad to have gotten my dog to come into the Twitch game, man. So, like I said, Jorge, you're not aware of it, but I'm gonna let you know now. I actually did let him know. So, yeah, whoever gets to partner first, which is basically getting 75 people for X amount of days and X amount of hours, we're gonna make a Teams page on Twitch that's gonna link everybody who streams, so that way we all have the same hub of people. All of our consumers, all of our fans will be able to connect with everybody that we talk to and connect with. And I feel like it'll be a good thing. So whoever reaches it first, whether it's me, Witty, or Zenef, or whoever else is streaming, will get that situated, and then everybody who's been connected will be a part of it. So definitely keep streaming. Do not let up on the streaming.
Hell yes.
But yep,
Oh yeah.
appreciate you
Gotta be
all,
consistent.
man. Every time, bro.
Keep it going.
Every freaking time, man. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming through and having a good time. You said, Zenef, you said put Jorge's YouTube channel? I can.
Yeah. Since he mentioned it, go ahead and if you have it,
Yeah.
give it a plug.
Yeah, I got you, man. Brunch time with
Brunch time with JV.
Brunch time with JV.
Hell right.
Is the that's all together, right?
Yes, all together.
Okay. It's not pulling. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the ats, see if that does anything. Pulls it up. It's not pulling up. Hang on.
Free, you got anything coming up big? Any plans in the works?
I'll be still doing my my Swifting stuff on here, my cycling stuff, just absolutely pushing the limits to my heart rate about 2 or 3 times a week. Trying to get my fitness up, and also, right now I'm working on playing some Age of Empires right now, which has been a lot of fun, and I'm thinking about starting to stream that over playing XCOM. I'm playing XCOM still in my free time, which I still do, but kind of replacing that one on as my stream game, and yeah, some stuff like that. We're working on some stuff. I'll be playing with the boss and with Hennessy if we do that. But I just downloaded the game, had a lot of fun with it, bringing me back to some old Age of Empire 1 and 2 memories. And I'm like, God, it's so much fun.
Yeah. Hey, bro, text me your YouTube channel again. Send me the link so that way I can put it on my Twitch, bro.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Appreciate you.
But also still doing some Super Mega Baseball from time to time, probably once a week. Just didn't do this week since I was sick on my typical day of doing that. But again, that's been getting me a lot of hits on YouTube and getting me some new people to come check out the stream lately.
God, yes. Fuck yes. That is, I've never played Age of Empire or ZCOM or anything that you play. That's what I love. I've never played half of these games that all you guys play. Like, I'm just gonna vicariously live through you guys while I play stupid games that piss me off more than anything in this world.
Yeah, it's like I always say, you play the games I don't play, and I'll play the games you don't play. Because we all gonna be able to experience it.
I'm no longer any good at first-person shooters, so I had to go back to the old school strategy games. So, like, I suck at Rainbow Six, I suck at Tarkov, so I had to jump off those. I'm not any good at those like I used to be.
So quit. Everybody be sure to throw your Discord up in chat before we leave as well. So if anybody wants to join Discords or anything like that, go ahead and pop on in. Jump in the dicky holes, guys. Jump in the dicky holes. It'll let you guys know kind of what we're up to.
Face first.
Face first,
Face first. Never mind.
I thought it was
yeah.
I had words.
Trial's
But-
gonna throw in this chat.
Oh no.
Well, you guys have a good one. Thank you for having me once more. Yeah, this is tons of fun. I'm sorry, like it couldn't be longer, but it looks like I'm not the only one that has to go, so I don't feel so bad now.
Oh no, yeah, no. My grandma has got to go to bed soon. I got like a.
Got to get grandma to bed.
Yep, gotta
Yeah.
unplug everything so my cats don't eat all the cords. It's gonna take me about
Yep.
30 minutes, so it's a beautiful night.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful night.
Yeah.
All great.
Dope. Well, peace out, guys. Thank you,
Peace
Peace
everybody.
out.
Peace out.
Yes,
Peace
bye.
out.
See ya.
Thank you. Absolutely. Peace out, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Corey, if you're still here, just when you send it, let me know. I'll send it in my Discord, bro.
Yeah, and I'll send it to you right now. So I'm trying to get my character to safety so that I can then send you the link and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Because I'm about to end off stream right now.
Absolutely.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
But as far as the Twitch, I will be gaming during Twitch. But it'll be like I said, the reason why I do the gaming is to connect with people, right? So it's to build the relationship or the outer spiritual growth aspect of what I teach. So
Definitely, man.
definitely gonna be, it's good.
Raid out.
So
to
I'll
this guy.
definitely be once the excuse me, the OBS set up with the overlays and things like that, then everything's gonna be super good for kosher.
Good.